Hello, you're listening to Hibs Talk, and this is always Gav. Joining me today is Dave.
Alright.
And Stephen.
Hello.
How you doing, guys?
I'm good.
Alright.
You?
We're getting a new PA system.
Happy days.
Yeah, that's the biggest takeaway I'm taking from that. We're finally going to be able to understand Barry at the games. So yeah, just in case people are wondering why I'm shouting out that, it was the AGM tonight. We're at the AGM and we're kind of got some notes in terms of the major talking points coming out of that. So we'll have a discussion about that, and once we've done that, we'll have a quick chat about the Livi game, and we've obviously got the Scottish Cup quarter final to look forward to on Friday night as well. So have a wee chat about that. But yeah, so just quickly, I mean, we're going to go into detail a bit more in a second. But Dave, what was your main sort of takeaway from tonight?
Ron was very positive, and the kind of way he spoke, it kind of makes you want to buy into his ideas.
Very
So,
enthusiastic.
Yeah, that was probably my main takeaway, is that there is a lot of good things being spoken about.
Mm-hmm.
So we should wait and see. Obviously, them all getting put into place. He was very insisting on that it does depend on how the team's doing in the park. Whether like all these types of things will happen. Obviously, having a good team in the park brings a feel good factor. So, that's why I'm just gonna let it all happen in the background tonight, type thing, and just enjoy it. Hopefully.
Stephen, main takeaway?
Going on what Dave says, he wants you to literally buy into his ideas, because there was a lot to talk about.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll come back to that. Yeah, there's opportunities for us to kind of get revenue in different places and stuff. But so I mean, one of the main sort of talking points that's been coming out at the back of it is the fact that we're aiming to have to double our playing budget by 2023. So I mean, currently we're fifth in terms of our playing budget and stuff. We're fifth in some other sort of fields in terms of, you know, turnover and stuff. But playing budget for in particular, doubling what that is just now, does that excite you in terms of, as well, especially when it's also talks about a smaller but better squad? But as somebody kind of pointed out, we've heard that before. But does that kind of excite you, you know, hearing that we're going to double our playing budget?
Yeah, no, definitely. We need to be able to, if we want to be the best outside the Old Firm, we need to be paying more than what Aberdeen and Hearts are playing, and we're not. So it's all relative though, because we're saying we're going to double ours. What are Hearts and Aberdeen going to do? So again, we do need to wait and see what happens with that. But it's definitely encouraging that he is willing to put in as much as he is, and I think he said double it by what year?
2023.
Yeah, so a couple of seasons. So I would say it's positive. You want an owner that's is going to like chip in. You know what I mean, Stephen?
And again, just the realistic point of view is the fact that he never disclosed in a club that's full of transparency what our actual playing budget is just now. Would doubling our playing budget put us up to third? We don't know, because
this is it by 2023, and as Dave kind of points out, we don't know what Hearts and Aberdeen are going to do in that time.
That's what I'm saying though. Like, if we're already fifth at the moment, like, you can't just go on saying that doubling our playing budget in the next 3 seasons has got to put us up to third or fourth. But
all they said was that it was going to double it.
Would our doubling our playing budget get us Kevin Nisbet?
I don't know, potentially.
But when you hear that somebody's going to double something, it's normally good. If I went to you, I'm going to double the size of your manhood right now, Stephen, you'd probably be quite chuffed. I didn't even know what size of manhood you've got, but that wouldn't be relevant because you'd take it.
I'd be like, it'd be too big, mate.
Would you take it?
I don't know, because it'd be too big.
So, a wee bit of flick of the power there. But I mean, it's way to kind of come back to. So I mean, a lot of it was to talk. No. I'm going to save that bit for later. That's we're going to stick to the positives first. The other thing that was kind of more exciting was he said that they're confident that when the majority of Hibs fans walk to Easter Road in the first game of next season, they're going to say, "Wow." You know, so we've seen some concept photos of what they're kind of talking about. I remember we were working together. We were talking about this before in terms of how, and I remember something we were talking about ideas. And I don't know if you know the Bournemouth stadium, how it's got the bits on the bit of the stand where you can see all the players and the fans and stuff. There was a bit like that, you know, we were all Hibs or something, and getting something like that up in the East. And obviously the another big takeaway was the big screen.
Big 32-inch telly in the corner.
Aye. So what's your kind of thoughts on the possibilities of the TV and what that could kind of lead to?
It's a good opportunity. would bring a lot of money, pay itself.
Yeah.
Because you think about all the sponsorships and that you get on that, people will pay a lot more than they would to have a static
Banner.
board at the side of the park. Visually looks brilliant, so again kind of takes us a step ahead of other stadiums in the league, like out with the Old Firm probably. So I'm happy with it. You've got to keep progressing end of the day, haven't you?
Yeah.
Visually,
I think
and
that
like,
was what his argument was as well. It was that he wants us to progress over his tenure, and that's obviously one of the positives that we can take from it. Like, I mean, he's a really good talker. Like, I bought into everything that he says, even though I might not sound like it because I've got questions. But generally, what he says, it's all appealing. No Hibs fan's got to walk out of that meeting and say, "All right, just puts us in the same position, but with a big TV screen." I never came out and says that, but it's just, it's like Dave says, you want to just leave it to go in the background, leave it to work itself, and then we'll see it when it's finished.
So, he was talking about what he called it was the big wow. So the first game of the season, Easter Road first game of the season, a new PA system, a large HD video screen, digital ribbons. So they're talking about the middle ones rather than just sort of being static boards. The advertisements that are constantly on the move, and bringing in make sure we've got production expertise, so we utilise the best of that screen and the ribbon bit as well. But yeah. Just really exciting to hear that as he kind of put it, our home is getting a lot of attention, and we're going to come on to the match day experiences in a bit more, but just that's one of the main things they're kind of looking at and making sure that we enjoy going to our second home more.
Yeah, and I did think he also touched on the point of, think about this, right? You get an average 15,000-16,000 fans to a game, right? So once they're there, obviously we're a business, you want them to get up their money, and so the kiosks being upgraded and that like stuff's all brilliant, but see when they're there, try and keep them there. So he did touch on maybe having like a bar for after the game. So you imagine the atmosphere if we just beat Hearts and then you just leave your seat and you get into the concourse and it's a good atmosphere, they're selling drink, you probably would take a bit of money off that, but it's a clever thing to do because your customer's there.
Yeah.
So I think that's another good idea. Keep them there, right?
Yeah. They spoke about that. They spoke about looking at behind the goals, looking at at one in the south potentially called like the terrace and stuff. Like you say, keeping fans behind the game as well. Also a lot of work on the gallery and the hospitality bit and stuff as well, which is sort of, Stephen, you want to say something about that?
Yeah, he never mentioned the Edinburgh suite, and I know why, because his accent will put it to Edinburgh. But yeah, he done well in avoiding that.
Yeah, and I mean one of the aims in order to sort of improve this atmosphere, obviously you can have this amazing stadium, and all these it could look great, but if you go along and there's no one there, it's going to be there's not going to be a great atmosphere. So one of the aims for the 23-24 season was to get us up to 17,000 season tickets. That's quite a jump in a short space of time.
Yeah, he did admit that as well, though. He did admit that it was, but he thought it was achievable. And see, if we just keep doing the right things, that'll happen. Fans will come back and they'll stay. Because that's what you need to do, is just show that the fans that they're appreciated, and I think one, improving the matchday experience is a big one, and then two, getting a better team in the park by doing all this stuff with sponsors, all the commercial opportunities that are going to come our way.
And they did say that they were going to tier the season tickets as well.
Yeah,
which has got
to a gold,
difference.
silver, bronze sort of system. Yeah, which sounds quite exciting. And then it gives, and I like how the fact he says at the moment you've got your full season ticket and half season ticket, and that's it. And he wants to give fans more options in terms of what they can buy into.
It'll be like category A game tickets and the stuff.
Potentially,
like,
yeah, but
I think that's what it will go down to.
But it might be something different, you know. He said he spoke to people, you know, like sports people in terms of like the America and stuff, and as well as, you know, they've sent people down to England and stuff. So, you know, I think a lot of Hibs fans are going to automatically look at what's been done in the past or what's been done in the rest of Scotland. But I think there might be a lot of stuff that we've not seen before, which is quite exciting as well. But yeah, and you know, on that, the plan is to move the catering in-house as well. You know, you speak to any Hibs fan, you know, the food's no great, and the service is, you know, fair play to the guys. It's not the most exciting job, but they're not exactly enthralled to be there. And we can have a joke about some of them, you know, in terms of like, you know, the service you get. It's not great in the kiosks. So moving it in-house, making sure that they have to meet to a certain standard that Hibs can set. I like the fact that he was speaking about linking in with local businesses for the food. He mentioned La Favorita, how do you pronounce it?
The Favorita for the pizza.
Yeah, so potentially something like that. You never sort of, he says businesses like that, so potentially there could be a thing of they do the pizzas and stuff.
But to be fair, they've already got La Favorita, like they've got the discounts with Hibs.
Yeah, so we've already got a working partnership with them.
And they've got the stall outside the East Stand, so...
Yeah, I think there'll be more stuff like that. You know, they've done that stall outside the East Stand from time to time. I think there'll be more stuff like that going forward as well. So I mean, Ron, once all the question answers have been done with Jack Ross and stuff, there was, you know, Ron kind of kicked it off and he kind of talked about this vision for 2020 to 2025. He said he'd been a busy last few months. He kind of referred, you know, made a joke about how he's been referred to as the quiet man and stuff like that, or the invisible man. But he says he's been a bit busy behind the scenes, you know, and it kind of broke through kind of what's been happening. Obviously, there's a change in management. There was a busy January. There's been task groups to kind of review various aspects of the club, and they've been developing this strategic plan for the next 5 years. And one of the first steps was that, you know, the greenest club in Scotland. And, you know, I think, you know, the folk could maybe look at that and go, oh, that's a nice thing for Hibs to do. But I think that's one of the things that we're kind of saying, like, you know, this is an example of things we're going to be doing going forward. And we're kind of trying to lead the way with things like that. And Hibs want to be a leader, and then that kind of tied into the statement, which kind of initially sort of took me back. So the Hibernian FC mission statement bit was, Hibernian FC aims to be the best football club in Scotland. Our goal is to make our fans and city proud. So, Stephen, we had a sort of disagreement about that because you kind of feel that kind of statement kind of hints that we have to be doing, you know, the best on the field.
Yeah, because his mission statement says best team on and off the pitch.
Right.
And if you're going to make a statement saying that you're going to be the best team on the pitch, you can't then follow it up with your ambition is to be a top 4 club, which is also what he followed it up with. Yeah,
so that these sort of these terms of the fourth and things like that, the third and fourth, that's, you know, looking at the next 5 years. You know, I think this mission statement is a mission statement going forward for the next 20 years. But also, I think, you know, like, with going back to the greenest club in Scotland thing is a good example of how we want to be the best club in Scotland. We want to be the best run club in Scotland. We want to be a club that you can be proud of, a club that are taking initiatives like that and leading the way with things like that. Let's face it, Celtic are massive. We're never going to be, and I know you hate it, Rangers are massive as well. We're never going to be able to compete with them financially, commercially, but we can do everything we can to make sure we're the best we can be and be the best running club in Scotland in terms of, so that we can more naturally grow from there.
And based on the greenest club in Scotland, we are we're greenest club in Scottish football, and they released this with a statement when they brought this out, is that we're the third greenest club in British football, behind Forest Green and Man U. Like, that's
some achievement.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Forest Green, it's in their name, and Man United, Man United. But yeah, so that's a great sort of achievement in that, and I love that they've kind of led with that just now to get in. I think there'll be more examples of initiatives like that to make sure.
The boy's only been in charge of the club for 7 months. Like, if he can do that in 7 months, like, who's to say that he can't become the greenest club in British football by maybe not the end of the season, but the end of the year? Like, he's obviously passionate about it, You don't just come out and make a statement about being a carbon neutral club. Maybe when we fit all the light bulbs for our light and glow in the dark stadium, it might change things. But
and getting back to the team, a quote from him here was, "We have a better team today than we were on New Year. We're a better team today than we were on New Year's Eve." Which is, we kind of discussed this quite a bit in length, and initially you said no, but on evidence of the last few weeks, would you kind of agree with that?
Yeah, in the last, I'd say, February's.
Since we got rid of Canberra.
Yeah, February's been a good month performance-wise. So.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we also there was also speak about making sure we're a modern club with our local commitments but a global outlook as well. I like that. It's kind of it's kind of covering all bases, but at the same time, as long as they kind of try to implement that. But is there anything else major sort of talking points you kind of thought coming out?
I liked that he said that when he went to Edinburgh Airport, and then he was like, "What is this?" And you see people with like English football kits and that one, but then you see like a Celtic shop and like Celtic and Rangers kits and that running about, and then he's like, "This is Edinburgh.
Yeah,
like we're the biggest club in Edinburgh. Where's the Hibs tops?" Like,
yeah.
So I think by the sounds of it, the plan is to do something in Edinburgh Airport.
Mm.
And I'll volunteer to manage that. So this is my come and get me shout. I came what I'm doing.
So Stephen, I mean, what's something we kind of started to talk about at the start of this, but I kind of wanted to hold off now. You kind of, I guess, sceptical because where's the money going to come from for this?
Yeah, well, he outlined where the money's got to come from. He wants more investment from supporters, which is fact. He was talking about the 2020 club, 20 supporters to invest 20 grand a year. Obviously, we've got supporters that are willing to put up that money. He says he's already had conversations with a few people. There's always mystery investors and fans that want to pay up for the club. Like, I'm a shareholder. We pay our season tickets each year. Everybody makes their own contributions to the club. Everybody that donates to HSL and all the rest of it. So can't see why we wouldn't get that. Obviously, there's the commercial opportunities for the businesses. He's looking for high-end investment as well, which is good because obviously we need the investment to grow as a club. There's businesses that are looking for the advertising, that are willing to put in the shift. And like I can't see any of the stuff that is outlined being unrealistic.
Yeah, and I mean, David, like that stuff Stephen's kind of lined out there, all that sort of commercial stuff. He's also kind of spoke about having a good working relationship with HSL, but also giving potentially, not definitely, but potentially giving fans another opportunity to kind of some sort of membership thing in terms of. If they didn't feel the HSL was for them, there might be other opportunities and stuff. So any way that we can kind of get closer to what Hearts and Aberdeen are doing in terms of their money. But so there's all these potential ways for different incomes and that. But would you, to me, I don't know, that's good that I don't know saying that rather than coming out and saying, "Oh, I'm going to put in £5 million." I'd be worried because I'm like, okay, you're going to put in £5 million. What if to say in 2 years' time you're gone? Where's that money coming from then? So like, I'm glad that this is more sustainable and long term rather than from one man.
Yeah, because he's already wiped the debt, and by the sounds of it, the option is there for all the stadium improvement. Then he said this himself for him to pay that that £1 million.
Says the money's there.
Aye, so you didn't want, well, we can't. That's how the club's going to bother. Because then they end up with stuff that they can't pay when that one goes. So it needs to be sustainable.
I think our biggest problem up until now is the fact that there's been no direction as to where fan contributions will go. Obviously, when they stopped the increase in HSL shares, everybody that paid money into HSL got the email saying that their contributions are now going to the playing squad. That was between HSL and Ron Gordon, that's been agreed. So any contributions will now go directly to the playing squad. Hearts, they obviously had their crisis. That's why they started ploughing money in. All their fans, £50 a week or £50 a month or whatever. Fuck knows how they pay for it, but the gyro only goes so far. But in Aberdeen have obviously just got a new stadium to pay for, so that's where all their fan contributions are like coming from. They want their new stadium, they've got to pay up for it.
And they've got their Aberdeen DNA, which works quite well as well, and they've got a good system where they kind of tie that in with the season ticket and stuff, so I think there might be things like that to look at
but
as well.
Obviously, I think now that we've got a clear goal and where we want our club to be, people will start stumping up money.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. Everybody knows that like not every single person can pay £50 a month or even £20 a month for that. There's different circumstances for different people, but people who have got expendable cash, like
but I mean, and you look at the number of people though that Aberdeen and Hearts have. It's between 8,000 and 10,000 people contributing each month. Hibs, HSL anyway, is around about 2,000. I think that's a massive difference, and that's always going to, we can try and kind of catch up with Hearts and Aberdeen as much as we can, but like that's always going to give them an advantage. Even if we can get money from elsewhere, it still kind of limits us if we can't match that. So I think that's why that we're kind of talking about more. There
was always scepticism on like where HSL were going, where the money was going, that people were contributing in that, because their aim was to get the shares, to get the fan ownership. And obviously now that that's hit a stumbling block, we've got a millionaire owner, that's not needed anymore. So anybody that's making contributions to HSL, they know that it's going directly to our playing squad and to increase it, and we do need the players.
What I would say is I would want the club to maximise the opportunities, like revenue-wise, before they start asking fans for more money. Like, get a shirt sponsor for a kick-off, for the start. And he did say we want to look to have 5 major sponsors who sign up for at least 3 seasons at a minimum. And he said an absolute bare minimum of like 200k per annum. Yeah, that type of thing.
So that would go a long way. Did any talk from me Adidas yet?
No, not yet, but I could put a word in.
I think it's only fair.
I don't know, I think Leanne likes a wee trip to Italy for Macron, so
she'll get coronavirus. Maybe that's why she was coughing the night.
I didn't even realise it had reached Italy. Did you point out, because I heard about the Ireland-Italy game getting called off.
It was like 12 people died in the North Italy.
Honestly, I really don't watch the news that much.
Tenerife, everyone's
shut down a hotel and
can't even go on holiday anymore.
But no, sorry, getting back to HSL, we're getting away from the coronavirus. I thought it was a good, there was that talk, there was a Q&A after, and Ron kind of said the possibility of another scheme to go along with HSL. They're going to continue to have productive chats with HSL, which I liked. But I really liked that Leanne kind of made a point to kind of thank everyone that has supported through HSL and any other ways, because it really helped out through some really tough times in the last few years with the likes of being in the championship and stuff, and where that we were really kind of needed that extra support there, and it was fans kind of stood up and delivered there. So it's just sort of about keeping that going and potentially bringing in more.
The most exciting thing about the night was the affiliation with other clubs. It says that he wants a few.
You quite excited by that?
100%. See if we get Dortmund as an affiliate club. Like, they've got a cracking American player in their squad now, Claudio Reyna's son.
Yeah,
quite happily.
Did you just chuck Dortmund and Hibs together there, or did something? Have I missed something?
No, definitely Dortmund and Hibs. Why not?
Did you just throw that on there and see what happens?
Can maybe see if we can get Haaland on.
I mean, they did sort of say there's been about 6 clubs that we kind of had discussions with. Obviously, we've had
Morton
a link with Juventus through Slivka before, so maybe that Juve's an option.
Aye, Juventus will go, that Slivka boy we gave to Hibs, maybe we should team up. What are you talking about? What are the 2 of you talking about?
I'm just saying there's been a connection there, so you never know.
He's dreaming too much.
Mine's was wishful thinking.
Aye, mine's was more realistic.
Morton.
Aye, let's be honest.
Dunfermline, maybe that's how we'll get Kevin this bit.
But I also liked the point that they kind of pointed out about how special days during the season, you're going to have your games and stuff, but there's going to be special. So for example, opening day of the season, making a big thing of that, make sure there's stuff going on to kind of make it feel like a special event. And the other games throughout the season, doing that, I really like that. And then somebody had asked about the possibility of renaming a stand after Sir Tom Farmer, but and the kind of answer kind of went away from the stand, kind of, and sort of says about, kind of spoke about how brilliant the work that Tom done for us, saved us in our time of need, and how there's going to be an opportunity to honour him and thank him next year at a special sort of day. So that'd be great to see. Definitely deserves it. But yeah, I thought Jack spoke well when he did speak in his Q&A. Graham Mathy, I thought spoke really well as well. He got asked quite a difficult question about short-term fixes and stuff. And he kind of made the point about Marvas or whatever, the Greek right boy that we got, or was he Greek?
Marvas, yeah.
Aye. How he was signed on a 3-month contract to be a backup. He started 3 games, kind of done his job and went away. So that one, in his eyes, was a tick. But
I'd have a counter question to that though.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just have a development player, a young player, come in and sit there?
Maybe they weren't ready.
That 3 games.
Maybe they weren't ready to play. I mean, what development player would you have had play? We're a year later on from that. Have we got, or was it 2 years later on from that? Have we got a right back that's came through the system?
I would have been playing F.A. Ambrose at right back.
We'll come back to him in a bit, don't worry. But no, I like how he was quite honest with summer signings. How they took an approach to try and do long-term signings. They gave the players 3-year deals. It was ambitious. Okay, it was a bit of a gamble. It didn't work out. But at the same time, I like the fact that the club done it and have managed to move on. The likes of Vela, who didn't work out. We're seeing Newell and Doige and particularly work out now. So I think I like the fact there was that attempt to, and I think that attempt's going to continue to, rather than always sort of go for short-term options.
I think
the preference is to get players that we can get in on sort of like 3-year deals.
Where he did cut that short though was the fact that obviously last week we had talked about the rebuild again this summer, because we are going to have 9 players short.
Yeah,
that's just a fact. So are we got to be bringing in 9 players, or is this got to be the opportunity for Ron Gordon to shorten his squad and get better quality in? But how many are you got to shorten it by? Because obviously we saw in January had no replacement for Shaw. I'd say that McNaughty was more a replacement for Canberry, so we're still a striker short really.
Yeah, I've got Boyle.
And I mean, a couple of games it was like McNaughty's taken a couple of knocks, and I was like, if he goes off injured for 2-3 weeks,
we are short the rest of the season in terms of up top, because we can go into a bit, because I think if McNulty was to go out, we'd have to go to one up top probably, because I don't think there's a competence to play start Cullen every week, unless we move Boyle up top, which then that's
3-5-2.
then that ruins the rest of the teams FC. But yeah, so finishing up then, just a couple of other points. There was I think there's going to be a lot more incentives to be a season ticket holder, potentially discounts for like the Hibs TV, which they're going to put a lot more into. They're going to put a lot more into the site as well. Loads more incentives to actually be a season ticket holder that kind of go along with that. If somebody could have stood up and sort of said that, at times you feel like you're just paying your money for your season ticket and you got you watch your games and that's it. But there's potentially a lot more incentives with that. And then finish up with just sort of what Ron sort of said. Somebody asked him why he bought Hibs. He says football was a game that was the game that he grew up loving. And Hibs are an easy club to fall in love with. Because they're the fact we're in Scotland and they're a capital club. The fan base is amazing, and Hibs makes an incredible difference in people's lives, which I thought was quite nice. So I thought he spoke brilliantly tonight, Ron. He's excited by going forward.
Yeah, I am, to be fair.
Yeah, excited to see where we are at the end of this 2025.
I'm impatient, so I did say this to you. I was like,
I want it now.
I want it all happening now, but it's not going to happen now. So that's what I've said. I'm just going to sit back and just watch it all happen, bit by bit, and I hope that it all works out exactly what he said. And
set the bar pretty high, like.
Good.
Yeah,
I'd prefer that.
Yeah, I want the bar.
You just don't want to fall under it though.
Aye.
Nah, but
set the bar high and then smash it even higher.
Yeah.
Aye. So, exciting times I think ahead to be a Hibs fan. I think some people enjoy listening to the podcast and hearing you two being really pessimistic, so we better get chatting about the Livi game instead then, because this is all too positivity.
Let's talk about Livi. Hibernian won. I'll allow it a bit, but
a lot of people have sort of been saying this is a missed opportunity. Dave, you even said that in the car on the way back today, but although maybe a missed opportunity, did we deserve to win the game?
Probably not. I mean, Livi didn't do that much, but I don't think we did that much. I thought we were quite flat at times, and we're doing that age-old thing where it really annoys me is we waited right to the death to then start going, oh, let's throw the kitchen sink at this. Because I don't think, well, we seen it for like the 80th minute. Livi want to try to win that.
Yeah.
They were happy with a draw. Time
Yeah.
wasting in that, like.
I think
See, as soon as I see a team time wasting against me, I go, straight away I'd go,
10 players up the
they're
park.
no fancy in this. They're happy with this. Let's go at them.
I mean, I had it 70th minute onwards / from when Dykes came off, because especially when Dykes came off, that was them. They were just seeing it out. But yeah, Stephen,
Did
you deserve to win it?
No, really. But for me, it showed how much I miss Newell's been. Like, because without him playing on the left, it just seems as though there's a bit of lack of creativity, and it's all coming through Boyle. It just seems as though he's our out ball now.
I think I hate to say, but I think Livingston are above us in the league for a reason. They're a very good team, and I think a lot of credit's got.
They're organised.
Yeah, very organised, and I think they've watched our last 2 games. They've seen how we're playing, and they seem to know everything we were kind of going to do. And I was, coming back with a Livi mate, and he sort of made the point of how 2 of their midfielders were sort of freed up to just, rather than man mark, just drop into the space. Dykes was up on his own, and then 2 midfielders just sort of dropped into the space and blocked off everything. So Hibs were trying to play out, and then everything we were trying to do was blocked off, and we found that frustrating. And then eventually we'd sort of lump it long to Doige and then lose it, and we seemed frustrated. And I think Livi deserve a lot of credit for that.
So what you're saying is that if we had a defender that could play out for the back, we'd have done better in that
But
game.
where would we have got one of those?
I don't know. Maybe
Looked
it
like
was right
Livi
in
had
front
one,
of us.
didn't it?
Well, I don't know. Oh, that was there. I don't know. Signing playing it right back, didn't? No, right centre back. He was actually quite good on the ball. Who was he?
Seeing that first couple of minutes, where it could have went all rang from, but it didn't. And I think it made Alan look stupid.
Yeah.
And then the Livi fans gave a wee cheer, and everybody kind of sitting around about us were like, why did we not sign him?
For those that haven't clicked, we're talking about the F.A. Ambrose, just in case.
It's not like we've not been talking about him all season.
But you, Gavin, I'm just going to come back to you with this,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to shove this right in your
And
face.
Craig. We'll get
And
Craig in
Craig,
as well,
yep.
'cause Perry is.
Didn't they want F. Ambrose?
No, I still wouldn't take him.
But what he would walk into that Hibs team.
Literally
One
walk into
performance, let's something carried away.
Oh, right, he's picked up from where he left off a year ago, so you were getting at the, when they play him. I mean, he just absolutely coasted through that game.
He was quite good, to be fair. There was a lot of interceptions he made. He read the game quite well. I will give him that. But
Very calm in the ball. It's a good putter.
put it this way, if he wanted to be at Hibs, he'd be at Hibs. Why is he not at Hibs?
If he wanted to be at Hibs would have signed him.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Like,
It's Hibs recruitment.
I'm not going to get into the whole reason he left again, because
We done that last year. Go back and listen to the podcast last year. But
fine, he left. We could have got him back over Livi.
100%.
maybe we could have. But yeah.
If you're trying to tell me that after I've just sat through the night that we couldn't sign F. Ambrose over Livi, we obviously didn't want him.
No, and I think we've got to be thinking more long term rather than short term fixes.
Especially
That's fine, aye. Because why would you want to sign somebody? What age is he? 31.
31.
Aye. Why would you want to sign somebody at
Because
31 on a long term
When,
deal?
when we've
Hey.
got a 35 or 36-year-old there.
4-year deals. Now, what did this chant in America? 4 more years. 4 more years.
We've been over this. They're not all playing contracts.
Oh, right. Okay. I just.
But yeah. So Stephen, we played 3-5-2. Big mistake, wasn't it?
No.
Go back to 4-4.
4-2-3-1. Bring it back.
Go back to that, because
That's what we're missing.
Because
teams
that's
are
what
reading
works
us
for
too
us.
easy now.
You can't, I see when Craig actually messaged in the group chat saying, 3-5-2, what a fucking laugh. I was like, we're playing without Newell, who's made all the difference on the left hand side at 3-5-2. We put Stevenson back in the squad, who's too slow to play 3-5-2 now. So we were pretty much playing with a flat back 4, regardless of whether he says it was 3-5-2 or what.
I don't even think it's anything to do with Lewis Stevenson's speed. It's
just his
you can't go forward.
no static.
There's a. I mean, I think there's a lot of times where he kind of went forward because Livi. Again, I'll go back to credit and Livi. Livi were blocking off all his options. So what he had to do was stop, take a touch, go back to Hanlon, and then Hanlon would go into the centre, and then it's going back to this again. But the thing is, right, there was a lot of times where we went back to the goalkeeper in this game, more than I've seen in a long time. And then, and I was like, we kept it, and we had the ball, like Hanlon on the ball, or no, Jackson was on the ball, and I said to you, he's going to pass it to Hanlon, and he's going to put it back to the defenders. And then we done that, and their forward read that as well, and almost snatched it in, and could have, if he got a touch to it, would have took it round the keeper and scored. It's like, we can see that, you've done that so often, it's becoming predictable, that the striker, a clever professional footballer is going to pick up on that as well.
But again, though, this isn't something that we've been doing, but we've been playing 3-5-2. Like,
it's only been 2 games.
Exactly,
and the Kilmarnock performance wasn't that great.
But I wouldn't blame a formation which has got us 7 points out of 9. I wouldn't blame a formation. I would blame the fact that Stevenson was playing, and
I think it'd be a bit harsh on Louis.
No,
I genuinely think Livingston deserve more credit, and we should have approached the game differently. I'm not saying formation-wise, but we should have approached the game differently.
I've already given Livy credit.
Mm-hmm.
I says to them that they were a good organised team. They're obviously above us in the league for a reason. They've been organised. They've beat Rangers. They've beat Celtic this season.
But I think Livy have watched us the last 2 games and gone, right, okay, this is how Hibs play, and kind of countered that.
Plus
Livingston have been playing this way the whole season. Hibs have had plenty of opportunities. I think there's plenty of opportunities to go back and say, right, this is how Livy play. How can we break them down? Because we seem to be playing our own game, trying to break down Livy, rather than trying to come up with something different to counter how Livy play.
But we're playing against Ambrose this week.
And it was a difference.
It was a difference.
I thought we had too many players that weren't good enough on the day too.
Yeah,
I thought Slavkov was really poor.
Yeah.
McNulty, he was
anonymous.
To say that, he was as well sitting up beside us. Like, the amount of times he gave the ball away in that first half was honking. And I've seen a lot of people saying he was making runs that were not spot on, and
but
he wasn't in the match.
It's scary to think
he wasn't effective at all.
At this time at the start of the season, the 2 players that we are relying on most were the 2 players that everybody wrote off, including me and you, Doidge and Newell.
Yeah.
And Jackson to a degree, because he's been really good since he started playing the 3-5-2.
Jackson was good.
In terms of just sort of quickly the 2 goals, I mean, Dockett with another assist, Doidge with another goal. Great to see Doidge scoring, but yeah, it was a great goal and really well taken for Doidge. He didn't even turn round; he just sort of flicked it up. Really well taken.
Yeah, it was a good finish, and we've not even spoke about the first half penalty miss.
Yeah,
Scott Allen. That should have been 2-0.
Wiped it from my mind.
That's another one you can chalk in that was very poor. Scott Allen, he's not getting away with it.
But that was the thing that Alan says, was it not last week, when he was talking about like if he would get a Scotland call up and that, and he says his aim this season was to become more consistent. You can't say that he's become more consistent. He says he goes missing after a couple of good games.
I think he's more confidence as well. Like one of them, like kind of misses that penalty,
head goes down. That's it.
He wasn't putting good balls in the box.
No, I think Livy did. Again, I hate to sort of go back to credit Livy, but I think they had a good game plan.
You fucking love Livy. I'm starting to believe this.
No, I think they had a good game plan in order to. I credited Kelly last week as well, but I think like they've got a good game plan in order to nullify Scott Allen. That was effective. Like you say, he's a confidence player, and if things aren't coming off for him, maybe he gets in his head a bit. But yeah. And then Livy's goal, their left back, your left wing back, because they matched up with us, just sort of ghosted in from the back post, kind of got in between Boyle and McGinn, but just before that, we're thinking, right, which Hibs player's going to go get this ball? The 2 of them both stop, and the Livy player just nicks in and takes it away, gets a bit further forward, puts a great ball into the box, and then Aaron Sinclair breaks free and got the equaliser. So, couple of we're beginning Boyle defensively with the run of the Aaron Sinclair, but also the mix up and not picking up that ball, just frustrating from a Hibs point of view.
Jackson or Slavkov, I'd probably say more Slavkov. Should have been it out to him, like with urgency, like
that's
actually charging for that ball, but instead Slavkov stood off him, and then in turn Louis Stevenson stood off him, and there's no other way to put it. We let him put that ball in the box. Boyle then lets his man run off. There's too many mistakes in there.
2 games back to back though that we're talking about Slavkov mistakes. Kilmarnock last week, Livy this week.
I think from his point of view, he probably doesn't think this is going to lead to a goal. He's slowed the Livy player down maybe in his head, contain it, let everybody get back. But when he watches that
Switch
back,
off.
he'll know that he probably should have just charged that right down there, and then made the Livi player no time, make him panic. He's not got a load of players up with him, but slowing him down and then not pressing him, the two of them, then let them have runners come up into the box, and then we'll look what happened.
Yeah. And it's sort of finally, I just think it's a bit crazy that Hallberg wasn't even in the squad until Newell's injury. I think he was probably one of our best players the first half of the season, and now he can't even get into the.
Well, I think he's
the
not been
bench.
he's not been well. Apparently, no.
If that's the case, that makes me feel better, because one, he's a handsome laddie, and two, but I like watching him play. I think he's like a really talented footballer. I like his attitude. I like his application. I really like him. So I hope to see him back in the team, because he is one of my favourite players now. I really like him. I sound like a 6-year-old talking about favourite players.
Fine. I hope Tom James is injured as well, because otherwise he was in playing table football before the match, and it's just like, by just doing nice things and engaging with supporters.
And the famous five, they had the table football and stuff, you know. And
I hope he wasn't fit, and then that's what he's been told to go and do to kind of like.
But even if he's, nice that he's doing that, even if he is fit, so fair play to him. If he's not getting in the team and he's still doing everything he can for the club rather than just going half, so good from there. But anyway, so finally we'll finish up just quickly looking ahead to the Inverness game, Friday night game. I feel sorry for them. Honestly, I genuinely feel sorry for the Inverness fans having to make that trip all the way down. But
not at all.
It's a bit frustrating in terms of ticket sales and stuff.
Ever since I got dragged up to Inverness on a Monday night after just being beaten in the League Cup.
We had to do it.
Yeah. But yeah, what's kind of thoughts ahead of the game? I mean, you're quite confident going into this. I mean, get saying about John Robertson.
Should be confident. Shouldn't be any reason why we didn't put out a lower division team. After
FA though, I'm quite worried about Keatons.
I know, he's a good player, Keatons, but dangerous forward. So, but yeah, I mean, it'll be a tough game. But I'll be quite confident that we're gonna on our way back to Hampden.
I'm not going to say I'm not confident, because I am pretty confident. We just need to turn up and wipe them away like we did to Dundee United. Just no respect. We need to just be like at the end of the day, we're a better football team than you, and go and beat them.
We need a performance like Dundee United at home rather than Dundee United away. Yeah. So score predictions for the game.
What'd you say?
3-1.
Yeah, I'll say 3-0 Hibs.
I'll go for a solid 2-0 in the next round. Okay, we'll finish up there. Hope you can enjoy the review of the AGM. And like I say, obviously there's going to be more sort of stuff coming out of that next few days, so that's exciting. And then we've got the game on Friday night. Enjoy that. Hopefully away back to Hampden. You guys got much planned for the rest of the week?
No, not really, mate. Working, playing fives, got a Hibs game. That's it.
Cool. Steven?
Yeah, about the same, to be honest.
Aye, sounds good.
But working, playing fives.
Minus fives.
Pretending he plays football. Pretending you do anything.
So yeah, we'll finish up there, folks. Subscribe wherever you get the podcast, and follow us at HFC on all the social medias. We'll finish up there, folks. Thanks again for listening, and we'll be back on Monday to have a look back at the Inverness game and ahead to the Hearts game. Exciting.
That's on Tuesday coming, eh?
Yep.
Aye, we might need to do the podcast on Sunday. Well, we're genuinely the podcast will be out at some point.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Tell your mother that you
I'll tell you why you won't be home tonight. Don't think that 1 and 1 is 3, just leave no ambiguity. I'll tell you why you won't be home tonight. I'll tell you why you shouldn't give up the fight, because you're going to total